This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for starting your day the Kentucky way with WKYT. I'm Andrea Walker.
I'm Bill Bryant. It sure is good to have you with us here. We have a lot going on here on this Thursday morning, October 6th. We want to get right to it.
Now at 6, mass evacuations are being issued throughout the South this morning. We're tracking the latest on Hurricane Matthew as it takes aim for the U.S.
Also, Lexington police are searching for answers after a woman was injured in an overnight shooting. That story just coming in.
And a Lexington boy injured in a shooting now has a four-legged friend to help with his recovery. See how the community helped bring the two together just ahead.
It's a delightful story that we look forward to sharing with you here in just a moment. We're watching things very closely. Opening day for Keeneland locally, yes. And that hurricane.
Yeah, that hurricane. The good news here is, and it just kind of eases and calms a lot of you guys, is that the hurricane's not going to have a direct impact on us. However, still going to have a direct impact on Florida. Just a nasty look down south. As you're looking toward the Bahamas, that's where it's located at this moment. Just to get you up to speed if you're just now waking up, it's Category 3, 125 miles per hour. Michelle Chamberlain actually here in just about a minute or two will show you a live look down there as this storm's passing on through. Good news once again for us, it's not going to have a direct impact on us. However, indirectly, it'll throw off some dry air in the area this weekend. Actually help us out. I'll explain that in just a few minutes. 50s and 60s out there this morning, and we head off into your afternoon, 82 degrees. It's pretty much where we were the past few days is basically what we're going to be dealing with today. Now, as we head towards your weekend, a big blasting cold front comes driving on through, maybe a 20-degree swing from what you see there. I'll show you those numbers. We'll obviously talk more about Matthew coming up in a few minutes.
See you then, and we have a lot more about what's going on with the storm right now.
Right now, nearly 2 million people along the coast of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas are being urged to evacuate as powerful Hurricane Matthew puts the U.S. in its sights.
The Category 3 storm pounded parts of the central Bahamas overnight. You can see it here depicted on our First Alert Defender network. Now forecasters are fearing that this monster storm could get stronger as it makes its way toward Florida overnight. Let's go to WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain at our alert desk, tracking the latest on Hurricane Matthew.
Yeah, guys, all eyes are on Hurricane Matthew as the storm is expected to hit the United States tonight. Now, here's a live look at Paradise Island in the Bahamas. It's likely to be Matthew's next target. This massive Category 3 storm is producing more than 100-mile-per-hour winds. And in the United States, people are preparing for Matthew. Millions of people have been evacuating the southeast coast, people stocking up on supplies and heading to gas stations to fill up. And you can see just how dangerous Matthew is. In Haiti, the extent of the damage is just now being realized. The hurricane is being blamed for at least 25 deaths in the Caribbean. Now, as the storm approaches the United States, the American Red Cross is sending a team from Kentucky to help in the southeast. Now, with more on the impact the hurricane is having on Kentuckians, we're joined now by WKYT's Lauren Miner. She is live at Bluegrass Airport with an update on any delays. Hi, Lauren.
Good morning, Michelle. Yes, we have 2 flight cancellations we want to let everyone know about this morning. We just learned a few moments ago that the 1013 Allegiant flight departing from Lexington to Orlando has been canceled. The 1003 Allegiant flight to and from Fort Lauderdale from Lexington has also been canceled this morning. And because of cancellations like these, AAA advises travelers to make sure they do their research if they are planning to take any trips in the next few days. Yesterday, the Lexington Bluegrass Airport still had several flights that flew to areas that are expected to be impacted by the storm. With that said, AAA says there is a chance flights across the nation could be affected due to the hurricane. Several airlines say they will work with folks on a case-by-case basis regarding refunds and accommodations. Most airlines have a link on their homepage alerting passengers of delayed or canceled flights. Now, while many people are rescheduling and canceling their flights, several people we spoke with say they're still planning to take the trip despite Hurricane Matthew. Reporting live in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Thank you, Lauren, and we will continue tracking the latest on Matthew throughout the morning. New this morning, a woman is in the hospital after an overnight shooting in Lexington. We're still working to figure out exactly what happened, but police say a woman was shot in the hip by someone who she knows. It happened just before 3 this morning in the backyard of a home on East Loudon Avenue. Police say they talked to a person of interest, but so far no one is facing any charges this morning. State police are warning folks in Madison County to be on the lookout for a suspicious man. Police issued the warning after a 17-year-old girl claimed a man in his 60s approached her by a lake off Speedwell Road near Richmond. The team claimed the man got out of his car and said he wasn't there to hurt her, but his behavior was strange enough that the teen decided to run away. We'll have more on the suspicious encounter, including a description of the man police are looking for right now, coming up at 6:30.
The time is 6:05 on WKYT this morning. Lexington police say car thefts are rising at an alarming rate throughout the city. In just the last 3 months, police say more than 260 cars have been reported stolen. Of those cases, they say thieves had keys to the vehicles roughly 40% of the time. In the same time period, investigators say nearly 800 cars were reportedly broken into. Police recommend always taking valuables, including your keys, with you.
Several cars were broken into at the Louisville Zoo this weekend during the zoo's Halloween event. Detectives say a woman was later caught on surveillance video using credit cards stolen from those cars. Louisville police are hoping someone will recognize this woman. New this morning, the Kentucky Board of Education is exploring the idea of charter schools.
Kentucky is one of just 7 states without any legislation allowing charter schools. The board plans to study charter schools during a special meeting next month. Charter schools are typically run by outside organizations, but they are publicly funded and open to any student. An interesting development. There's a big push for it, and we'll see how it goes. The legislature would have to define what is a charter school in Kentucky. All right, a Lexington boy injured in a shooting more than a year ago now has a much-needed service dog at his side.
A great update to pass along this morning. Antonio Reese is now 11 years old. Family members say he's gone through multiple surgeries after getting shot in a car drive-by. With help from people in the community, they raised $22,000 for a dog they've named Alice to be by Antonio's side. Family members say the two are already best friends.
She helps me for seizures and a lot of stuff.
Alice gives me that sense of security, knowing that she's going to bring him to me. They're going to be together. They're sidekicks. Everyone's going to know Antonio and Alice.
The family wants to start their own nonprofit organization that helps raise money for other families who also need service dogs. So Antonio and Alice, the A-team right there.
Right. They look like they're meant for each other.
They
right?
are.
Looks like it's meant to be. All right. Divided attention in our weather this morning. Of course, Keeneland and a lot of local events this weekend. We're really keeping eyes as well on Hurricane Matthew. Let's go to Micah Harris, our meteorologist now in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, we're looking at those 50s and 60s early this morning. No major fog issues. Watch out for some patchy fog here and there. But it's just like yesterday morning and just like yesterday afternoon is basically what we're going to be dealing with for today. So as you're walking out the door, no problems. A little bit chilly down toward the southern half, 54 now in Laurel County, and up toward Rockcastle, back toward, say, Somerset there, and Pulaski County across 27. Lincoln County looking good this morning. Waynesburg, Crab Orchard, all looks well. We're looking toward the afternoon, and we're at 82 degrees with a mixture of sun and clouds. And just like yesterday, we can't rule out possibility of a sprinkle or so, but that's about it. Tomorrow is going to be virtually the same for kickoff for Keeneland, so things are looking pretty good. Let's talk about the new track over the Bahamas at this moment. Overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, that is when it could possibly, that's the key word, possibly make landfall. And to put this in perspective of how incredible this has been to not see landfall for a major hurricane, the last time we actually saw a major hurricane, which is Category 3 or better, actually reach land, make landfall, was Wilma back in 2005. And to put it in perspective, we didn't even have Twitter then. Think about that. It's almost 11 years ago. So then it rolls up the eastern seaboard, and it looks like it'll reach southern portions of Georgia and also the Carolinas there by the weekend. Here's some good news for some of you guys. I know some of you guys have some family or maybe even still traveling out toward Myrtle Beach or Charleston or Savannah. The good news here is it's moved, the track actually has moved south just about 50 miles. Now, 50 miles isn't that much. You're still going to get some very strong winds. You're still going to get flooding rains. There will be some damage as we work our way down the South Carolina coast. But also, look for that storm surge. It's going to be virtually impossible to get in the water there. So here's the track on it now. Watch this. We talked about this yesterday morning. Virtually loops around completely. We'll see if that actually happens. But there is a possibility that it makes another trip to the Bahamas and another trip to South Florida. It's a remarkable storm. It really is. How will that affect our weekend plans, though, here? Won't really directly affect us that much. Indirectly, though, it throws in some dry air, and that keeps us mainly dry there for the weekend with temperatures in the 60s. We will take that. There is a chance of rain there on Saturday, but I'd push more toward eastern Kentucky than anywhere else. So all in all, we got the downtown days going on in Columbia and Adair County. That kicks off tomorrow, off towards your Saturday. And for the most part, it looks pretty good there for any events going on. It's just a small chance of rain there on Saturday. We're doing all right.
There you go. We are. It's just those with travel plans.
That's right.
And that's going to be something we're going to be rolling with the next several days, obviously, and keeping everybody in our thoughts there in Florida, in the Carolinas, and that region. 6:10 is our time this morning on WKYT.
And each morning around this time, we bring you weather and traffic together.
Let's go to Officer Don and check on what's happening on the roads with live drive traffic. Don?
Good morning. Well, no wrecks right now. Just check Tates Creek Road past the Circle, and that looks steady. North side, North Broadway is in great shape, too, from the interstate down to the Circle itself. And the inner and outer loops between Boardwalk and Winchester Road check out fine. Let's get a look outside. We'll show you what's happening as far as overall traffic flow goes this morning. As you can see, not a lot of red popping up. So that's what we like to see right there. As far as the drive times, no major delays right now coming in from Nicholasville. Also from Versailles, we're looking good. Live look outside, courtesy of the Lexington and Fayette Urban County Government and Richmond and Man o' War. Now back to you in the studio.
Don, thank you so much. Looks like a good start to the day on the roads
does.
as well. And we have more news coming up on WKYT on your Thursday morning as we go rolling toward the weekend.
The second presidential debate is this Sunday, but that's not what has voters talking. More from the campaign trail coming up after the break.
Welcome back in. It's great to have you with us on WKYT this morning. We have a lot going on. Our time is 6:15 here on your Thursday. We're going to make it to that weekend. You know that,
That's right. We're getting there.
Forecasters say that Hurricane Matthew has gotten stronger as it continues to batter the Bahamas.
The U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami says Matthew's top sustained winds have risen to 125 miles per hour. The center is expanding the hurricane warning area further up the southeast Atlantic coast from Florida into Georgia.
An NSA contractor is accused of stealing secrets that, if revealed, could threaten national security. Federal agents secretly arrested Harold Martin III back in August, but they didn't disclose the news until now. Investigators are trying to figure out whether the 51-year-old stole and disclosed highly classified computer code developed by the agency to hack into networks of foreign governments. Well, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are gearing up for their second debate coming up Sunday night in St. Louis. But Trump's advice to Nevada residents is what everybody's talking about this morning. Hannah Daniels has the latest on Campaign 2016.
While campaigning in the swing state of Nevada, native New Yorker Donald Trump started the rally by telling locals how to pronounce the name of their home state.
Nevada. And you know what I said? You know what I said? I said when I came out here, I said, nobody says it the other way. It has to be Nevada, right?
The viral moment prompted a scathing response from Nevada Senator and Minority Leader Harry Reid. In a statement, Reid said, if Donald Trump wants to come down from the penthouse his daddy bought him to lecture us on how to say Nevada, he could at least pronounce it correctly. Trump holds a town hall event for the press today in New Hampshire. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
And Hillary Clinton will be staying off the campaign trail for the next couple of days as she preps for Sunday's town hall style debate in St. Louis.
The time now is 6:17 on WKYT. New safety technology that could prevent speeding trains from crashing is coming to some Minnesota rail lines. Positive train control could stop a collision or derailment because of excessive speed. The St. Cloud Times first reported the developments. Federal safety regulators are looking to see if the lack of an automatic braking system contributed to last week's deadly rail crash in New Jersey. Some of the same workers calling for higher wages for McDonald's employees have filed claims of sexual harassment against the fast food giant. Those 15 workers are part of the Fight for $15 campaign who've been pushing for higher pay and a union. McDonald's said it's reviewing the allegations. Also this morning, Target is breaking out of its box store mold. The retailer has opened its first small store in New York City. Just 1/3 the size of its regular stores. Target says it's part of a larger plan to open dozens of smaller locations around the country in urban markets and college towns. For the first time ever, the Mall of America will be closed on Thanksgiving this year, but its 520-plus stores will have the option to stay open. Black Friday shopping has slowly been creeping into the holiday over the years. Last year, the mall opened at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. And Taco Bell is offering a few of its biggest fans a chance to sleep over. Taco Bell in Canada is launching an Airbnb. There will be bunk beds, couches, a big screen TV, even a Taco Bell butler to serve you food. The deal is to celebrate the launch of the Steak Double Dilla, the Quesadilla, and the Steak Double. Did I really just say quesadilla? Oh, no. Oh, no. This is why you have to read stories ahead of time. You know what I'm saying?
Have you a quesadilla and spend the night with us, right?
Yeah, quesadilla.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, well.
Moving on.
At least it's not me for once.
I know.
All right, 6:19 on WKYT this morning, and we are just getting started. Hey, it's so good to have you along with us, up and at it on your Thursday. The home of late music star Prince is opening to fans this weekend. When we return, we'll take a sneak peek that you don't want to miss.
We'll talk about quesadillas, we'll talk about tortillas, and we'll talk about Hurricane Matthew. We'll have all that coming up next.
Good morning and welcome back into WKYT this morning. The time now is coming up on 6:23. Millions of people across the East Coast are being urged to evacuate as Hurricane Matthew takes aim at the U.S.
It's going to be something we'll really be watching the next little bit. And here is what is trending at this hour on WKYT News. Forecasters say Hurricane Matthew is getting stronger as it continues to batter the Bahamas this morning. The monster storm is expected to hit the Florida coast tonight. So far, Matthew is being blamed for at least 25 deaths in the Caribbean.
A woman is in the hospital after an overnight shooting right here in Lexington. Police say a woman was shot in the hip by someone who she knows. It happened just before 3 this morning in the backyard of a home on East Loudoun Avenue. Police say they talked to a person of interest, but so far no one is facing any charges.
Divided attention for our weather, of course, as we watch the hurricane and look at our own forecast. Here's Micah.
Yeah, we watch the hurricane just because it's just all over Facebook. It's all over social media, the news. I mean, you're just really hoping and praying it really doesn't cause devastating damage down toward Florida. But unfortunately, you got to remember this. It could make landfall in Florida as a Category 4 hurricane, 145 miles per hour. That's like an EF3 tornado rolling just right along. I mean, taking it all the way up the southern peninsula. So it just doesn't look good for them, but hopefully we're crossing our fingers. It turns out all right. 60 degrees there, a nice morning in store as you walk out the door. 82 degrees as we travel towards your afternoon, above average temperatures, and that's just like the past few days. It's going to be the same. Now, however, we're going to be tracking Matthew, talking about the new path on this, and also the cold front for this weekend. How low do our temperatures go? I'll have that coming up in your 7-day in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
All right, well, if you believe that few things are as scary as this year's election, I know there are a few of those out there, then you should probably steer clear of this Connecticut man's house.
A political science professor has created a haunted house with, you guessed it, a Clinton and Trump theme.
Oh, goodness.
Now, instead of the traditional ghosts and witches, the election house of horrors is complete with Hillary Clinton chained to a donkey and Donald Trump screaming from atop a border wall. So,
of course, he's a professor of political science.
Yeah, all right.
I guess he's allowed to poke fun.
Well, that's fun. Different kind of theme there.
I like it.
All right, we all remember Prince, of course, and Prince's fans are getting a sneak peek into the late music star's home.
Paisley Park is opening to fans on a very limited schedule this week. Entertainment Tonight snagged the first glimpse of the pop icon's dwelling. Tours of Paisley Park were scheduled to begin today and operate daily, but those plans have been scaled back. City officials want to review public safety and traffic concerns before allowing Prince's home to operate as a museum. So for now, there will just be 3 tours, one today, this Saturday, and next Friday, October 14th, excuse me.
I just want to see how it goes.
Yeah,
for now.
Probably smart. Well, we have one last clip to show you, and it is scary good, y'all.
Right. Watch this youth football player pull off an amazing bobble catch at a Florida football game. He almost loses it several times. Isn't that crazy? Miraculously, he hauls it there to the last second for a touchdown and goes right into the end zone.
That was awesome.
What about that?
He was behind the back. I mean,
Let's see if we can take a look again there once.
That is great.
Yeah.
And he almost lost it there again at the end.
I'll never forget that, all right?
I almost fell down, you all. Okay.
Well, we're back up against about a foot drop off.
Oh, good save there, too.
Keep it here on WKYT this morning. We have a lot more news to juggle this morning to get to you, and we'll be back with that.
Coming up, a Kentucky coaching legend has passed away. At 6:30, we'll look back on the career of longtime Clay County basketball coach Bobby Keith, a legend.
Oh, what a career it was. And all of our top stories are on the way. And tomorrow's Mega Millions jackpot is $41 million. Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $91 million. Keep it here on WKYT.